May. Oh, sorry about that. I hope people come and join us. I fat fingered a button just before going live. Killed the stream. I was so amazed that once I did that, I couldn't resurrect that issue. Cheers. Okay. I should check this. I think I published everything, this link out there. That sucked. Okay. Having that day. Have you ever have a day like that where everything sort of goes like that? I'm having that day today. Okay. It's May. We're all working hard, putting things together. We have been working on networking, saving and loading, and lasers. Also the zombie too. The zombie's coming along really great, but I don't want to show it off until there's like a big reveal. But the zombie is coming along really good. Working hard or hardly working? Yeah, working hard. Like no question there. Last week was rough as I learned a lot about Unreal as I was trying to put the laser stuff together, which would have been a very unfun stream. I spent most of the weekend, in fact, like digging into details of Unreal. Let's take a look at what we got here. In the meantime, let's go. It's been a while since I've done one of these things. Okay. You'll notice right away I drop right into a weird place in the world. It's because we've been saving and loading world. So all the things I have done to this world is have saved, and you can see I've been out in the desert here testing laser weapons for days and days out here. So I have so much of this little area that's been destructed, but it's encouraging. Because this is all saved, right? Like this has been all saved in from all week long of testing laser weapons. Somebody's talking here about CastleMiner Z and Murder Miners too. Yeah, those are cool guys back from the XBLIG days, I think. And Fortress Craft is coming back around the same time, so we'll all be in the same place at the same time, which is cool. Estimation progression of the game. It's really hard. I don't have like a progress bar that we're working through. It's like we're working through issues one at a time, and some of them are harder than others. A lot of times what we do is we spend time trying to figure out what the right way to implement things are. I don't think people realize this. Like, you could just slap a game together and it wouldn't run very well. But we're all professional game developers, so this is like something. Every time we put something in, we put a lot of thought into what goes into things. So let's get into this here. Oh, another big surprise. This came up in one of the. I threw a screenshot out there. We have the AK in our inventory. Yeah, so the AK actually works. So let's go through this. That's a big addition to the game. So you can see their tracers look a lot better now. Lasers have laser bolts are looking pretty good. Lasers really shouldn't do this on the wood, but they heat things up and then the heat explodes them. We can go down in some caves. I need to go in the dark and show this off because still tuning how this stuff works. But if I fall into here, I fall into a dungeon. And you can see these. Let's go down into a cave. Actually, I should get used to. Using our torch. The torch smearing issues, we were able to fix that. There was an issue where the torch would kind of like create a smeared light effect, and we've been able to fix that. We've been able to fix a lot of the issues we've been having with Unreal, so things are looking good. I mean, and here's a tight little area. Let's see if I just like, and then, you know, pieces of hot rock come off that, you know, cool down. This isn't really very good because of where we are, but things are coming together. This is the reason why we wanted to use Unreal was because of just the visual fidelity, and it's really coming together. Here's a place where there's some you could see this. We worked a lot on these, and there's pieces of hot rock that come down and cool off when they hit the ground. I think these will be cool because we have much bigger spaces in the caves now. That things like lasers down here will be pretty cool because of the way they light things up. So you can see like the lasers. I don't think they're going fast enough right now. But kind of cool. Oh, AK, let's do it. Cool. Oh, welcome. Thank you so much for the donation. Let me check the... Somebody's asking about minimum specs. I don't know. We're trying to make the game look good. Any chance that that PlayStation could have access to the game? I would like that very much. It's kind of up to them. We are in an engine that makes it easy for us to go on there. Somebody's saying that the laser effects are great. The slow lasers, yeah, I think the projectiles are too slow, but that's an easy thing to tune. Love the realistic reloads. Is that a laser? No, it's not a laser AK. These are just tracers, but they might be a little bright. Plus, there should be a muzzle effect on here that kind of tempers that. Definitely a little flashy. Still tuning the effects. The other big thing that we have too, which we added, was we implemented, let me see if I can just restart this and get on top. DLSS, NVIDIA DLSS for anti-aliasing. This is actually running in here right now, and I just minutes ago got the control panel on here for this. One of the things I have to do is I have to go through here and tune the DLSS. I think we'll probably end up using ray reconstruction. It actually makes a big difference. Let me zip to the beginning. And somewhere around here, there's a cave that is really good for... So one of the things that I've been talking about doing is running a limited alpha for, so let's do ray recon. You can kind of see a difference here. It definitely makes the shadows a lot sharper. Where I was seeing this, the real benefit of this was in the shadows of like the trees, that they kind of have like a sparkly thing going on here. And if we do ray reconstruction, they get kind of blurred out. I think I'm going to leave that on. We could also do DLSS frame reconstruction, which will double the frame rate. Vibrance, I don't know why those are. There's another one that adjusts for lighting. I think every time I brought this menu up, it doubled the settings. Yeah. Let me see here if I can put in yeah, whoops. Oh, I'm looking for the FPS. That's what it stats, FPS. So I don't know, here we're running at like, I don't know, 50 frames per second in the editor, which is really good. Like usually you see significantly big gains in a release build outside of the editor. But with everything turned on, the game is actually running really good. It's still already probably 60 frames easy outside of the editor. I've seen numbers way higher than that in certain scenarios. Let's take some questions. Is there going to be... it's so funny, the really basic stuff. FOV slider, sensitivity setting. Yeah, that's all pretty basic stuff. Will there be a storage block like a crate or a chest? Yes, we'll have something like that. Will there be support for Steam Workshop? One of the things that we have already is we have the way that you can do voxel submissions for us right now. I should pull up the link for that. We are asking for your voxel creations to add to the game. And I am trying to find the link. What's the price range for the game? Every time somebody asks, this is one of the questions here, every time somebody asks me what the price is for the game, I kind of put it back to you and say, what are you willing to pay for the game? Because that's really what's the important thing here. But yeah, so that's somebody's saying that the light on the tracers is a little much, probably. I wonder if they move faster though, if that'd be better. I think I want to keep the lights on the lasers. They're also a little slow. Let's just have some fun and shoot some lasers at things. See them bouncing off the bedrock. This actually gives you a pretty good view of them. Ready for a, got this in here, we're ready for a laser wars. I think that's where the bolts originally came out from. This type of anti-aliasing with the bolts actually seems to look pretty cool. Sorry, having a little bit too much fun with that. People are saying we should do more with the spawn tower. I'm curious what suggestions that you have for the spawn tower. Will the laser LMG be added to the remaster? Yes, absolutely. And it'll crash the game every time you use it. All the pricing suggestions are everything from $10 to $60. So the other thing too I want to announce, I don't know how many people here are new to the stream, but our Steam page is up, and you should visit our Steam page for several reasons. First of all, if you haven't already, I'm going to put the link in here. You should wishlist the game. I put the link here. In fact, I'm going to pull this over here. Is you should, where is it? Add to your wish list. Wishlist the game. This helps us a lot on Steam. It'll let you get updates. Also in the community hub and the discussions. This is a really good place to organize feedback. There's the forums on here, which is a good place to do this, and already we have a thread about how much the game should cost. But wishlist the game on Steam, and we are working towards our Kickstarter goal, our Kickstarter, like launching our Kickstarter. So I think when the original when the zombie comes online and we have the enemies in there, would be a good time for us to film our Kickstarter trailer and get the Kickstarter going. Will there be original models in the game still? Or will there be some of the original models in the game? I don't know yet. Probably not, would be my guess. I don't know, there might be some in there, it might be, but I think that, we're working to replace all the enemies, so they definitely won't be in the game. The weapons and the character stuff has to get replaced. And outside of that, I'm trying to think if like models for tools and things like that, it's likely that they would be replaced. So I'm not really sure that offhand, if anything. Right now, there's a bunch of stuff that is in the game from the original as a stand-in. But like we can spawn a couple of the old zombies that this is. But these are definitely going to be replaced. This is the first time I've killed a zombie with the AK. It's, I just realized that, like literally on camera right here. It's the first time I've done that. But those zombies are going to be replaced shortly. Somebody's asking here if is motion blur always enabled? A part of that has to, it's a very complicated answer because it has to do with the way anti-aliasing works on modern engines. The DLSS seems to deal with that better than TSR. But we don't explicitly have like a motion, like we're not creating motion blur on purpose. It's a part of temporal anti-aliasing. Will there be controller support on the PC? Yeah, I think I could actually, I have a controller around here somewhere I could play right now on the controller. So that is. Oh, so somebody wants a short glimpse of the zombie. I'm debating if I should do this or not. We've been working very hard on the zombie, and I kind of want it to be a surprise when it comes out. So I'm gonna say no. Like I'm gonna do a specific reveal. It's such a big deal, the zombie, and we've put a lot of it's the one asset that we've put probably more work into anything else, and it's been in progress for a long time. So. Somebody's asking us, will Lantern Land make a return? We will make some honor of Lantern Land. So will the zombie look like the original? Yes. It will look like a reimagined version of the original zombie. And that was the thing that was hard about this, was to try to remake this zombie in a way that looked like the old one, but also looked really awesome. And that's one of the hardest things to do. Like, it would be really easy to find somebody that would just make you a zombie, or you could find one. But to find a zombie that is like a really that reminds you of the old version, but is still really cool, was really difficult. So we're going through the process of doing that. Somebody's asking more about the motion blur. Like I don't know exactly what you're seeing, because there really isn't a lot of blur going on right now, especially with this form of anti-aliasing on. Somebody's asking if the zombies will get covered in snow. That's an interesting idea. If you haven't seen already, there's a lot of weather is a big deal in the game. Like we can just spawn a blizzard here. Let me turn the volume down on that. Snow is going to start to accumulate on the ground and the objects around us. Somebody's saying don't add spiders, which is funny because I did have an idea for something that was kind of similar to spiders. Oh, the other thing too is we've been working on destruction effects for blocks. So here's like the sand has a new destruction effect. I think these have their own. The blocks have different destruction effects. These have the crumble effect. And yeah. Somebody's asking if the game is going to be open source, and I can tell you absolutely not. It's possible that we might open source the original game after this one comes out. But none of our stuff has ever been open source. Somebody says we got to keep the old death animations. You're right. I think there'll be new death animations, I think is what it is. I don't know about the... Yeah, somebody's talking about how the original game was reverse compiled. There's a big difference between something being reverse engineered and being open source, but that would be a lot here for this stream. Somebody's asking here what the expected. This was kind of a cool view with the lightning. Somebody's asking here what the expected release date is. Hopefully by the end of this year. Please, by the end of this year. Wow, with the fog and everything in here, like this actually it's pretty cool. Like it's Somebody's asking if making this one is harder than the original. Yes, absolutely. We're all dealing in an engine that we don't know how to use versus our own engine. Somebody said here, what's the expectation on a successful game? I've heard you say a couple of times that you're going to do with the game if it's successful. Just yeah, we have a roadmap for how we want to build things out after release of the game. Obviously, going to the consoles, a lot of features we want to add that we just aren't going to be able to in the very beginning. Yeah, we have a lot of stuff in mind as long as we continue to get the support. Somebody said, are you still going to have to travel 3,000 meters to find a lot of different ores? You never had to travel 3,000 meters. It just was easier out there. And it is much further than 3,000 meters right now because the world is double the size, like double the depth and double the length right now. Somebody wants to see vehicles. I would like to see vehicles too, but it's definitely not going to happen before we release the game. Do the textures use physical-based rendering? I'm not exactly sure, to be honest. There's a fairly complicated shader that we use to draw our world that uses like several different maps. I don't know if it's actually physically based rendering. Man, I'm having a lot of fun here, like shooting stuff in the rain here. So we could have a fight with a zombie here on a plateau. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let me take some questions here. This is like really all I have to show off right now. Somebody's asking if they can get a sneak peek of the player avatars. We don't have we don't have anything done with that right now. All of our videos at this point are we're trying to get enough done for the Kickstarter trailer. By the way, if you haven't signed up for the Kickstarter, like to be notified, please do this. This is I keep talking about this. This is, in fact, I'm going to pin this to the top. That when we run this Kickstarter, like this is all, everybody's kind of doing this right now on volunteer time. Oops. And if we don't get good support for the Kickstarter, it's going to make this much harder for us to do. So this is the place. If you were going to support us, this is the place to do that. Okay, cool. I'm going to, I'll take a couple more questions here, and then I'm going to get out and start and do some more work on the game. So, will there be a flashlight attachment on weapons? This is an interesting question. Since light is such a big deal in this game, there's going to be a lot of different ways to light up the environment, and definitely was a flashlight is something that we've been talking about from the beginning, and the flashlight will either be a weapon modification, or it will be something on you, like on your body. Any estimation on the day when the zombie is going to be revealed? The progress is really steady. I have to check the schedule, but I mean, we're talking about probably like a few weeks, maybe. Will there be ragdoll death? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And eventual so somebody's asking about the console releases. We've covered this in a lot of different streams. Basically, the consoles have to let us be on there, and the best way for us to get onto the consoles is to have a successful Steam release, because that will give us the money and the credibility to get onto the consoles. So any support that we get on Steam or Kickstarter would help us out. Will the default characters be SWAT characters like the original? No, we're looking at redesigning the characters. So there will be one redesigned character for the release of the game, and then if the game is successful after that, we will do a character customization system. You should make it where you could tame and ride dragons. Yeah. We're trying to get a game out the door right now, but that would be a cool feature. Yeah. Somebody's asking here, why is it difficult to add the game to Xbox? There's a long history here, and they're saying that there's other games there, and CastleMiner is establishing. I haven't went through that process in a really long time. There has always been like a history of friction between us and Microsoft, because I think they felt like this game was sort of because Microsoft owns Minecraft. And in the 360 days, there was some history there. We were always trying to get a XBLA contract. We were never able to do that from them. So I don't know. I haven't released a game through the ID program yet. I went through the application process once with Death Toll. We ended up not releasing on Xbox. So I don't know. It might not be a problem. It may be a problem. I haven't started the process yet. So I don't know. But there is definitely a possibility, because Microsoft has the ability to do that, of them just saying no, that you can't release this. I mean, that hasn't happened, but it is definitely, like, the way it works is you submit an application to release a game on the Xbox, and they just choose. And one of the stories I tell is the early days. This happened to us with Steam in the very early days. We had sold like 1 million copies on the Xbox, and we asked Steam if we could publish, Valve if we could publish on Steam, and they just said no. And they said, it's not our policy to tell you why. And then I tried to apply a year later, and they said no again. I said that, we had sold several million copies on the Xbox. Can we please release on Steam? And they said no again. And then they put us through their green light program. So the history of us dealing with platforms like this, where it would seem to make sense, is I don't take it for granted, because I've been told several times no in situations where it didn't make sense for them to tell us no. Somebody asked here, would PlayStation be easier? I don't know, but in those days when everybody was telling us no, PlayStation was telling us yes, come over here. And at one point, Sony wanted to buy the company. So in my experience, Sony has been far easier to deal with than Microsoft or Valve. So I would hope that if I could have it my way, is that the game comes out on Steam, is successful there, and then the game comes out on Xbox and PlayStation and is successful in those places as well. That would be if it was everything was under my control, that is exactly how it would work. But I have to be, if I came on here and said yes, the game will be on Xbox, like, there isn't any way for me to say that. Microsoft has to tell us yes. I know that one of the things is if you're successful somewhere else, it's harder for them to say no to you. Somebody says CMZ will always be better than Minecraft. I appreciate that. Thank you. Are there any other recent games that you guys have done? No, there is another game that we've been working on. That is an AI game, basically, but we have not released it yet. It's been a while. Death Toll. Well, CastleMiner's Digital DNA Zombies was the the last game that was released, which I don't even know if it's still available on the Xbox. I kind of like that game. There was that little like black and white zombie party shooter game that I would have loved to have done more with that. Other than endurance mode, will there be a possible another game mode like survival mode, but with more character level? I'd love to hear your ideas for new game modes. Definitely, it's definitely. What are your sales goals for the game? I don't have a number in my head. There's 4 of us working on the game right now. The game has to make enough money to make sense for 4 people to not go and work in day jobs. Nobody wants to go back to working their day jobs. They would love to do this forever. So, but I don't really know what that number is. You know, it's like my experience is either things sort of go one way or the other. Like either they do really, really well or they don't do well at all, and there's no question in between. It's very rare to have it where it's sort of in between. But everybody on the team here really needs this to work. And they're all putting a lot of, like, everybody's working for free. So, like, everyone's putting a lot of at risk to do this. We are incredibly grateful that you guys have let us do our craft in the way that we want to for all the years that we have. Like, I don't mean that in a light way. I mean that everybody is very, very grateful. Like, it's been what you've allowed. You know, you've allowed us to do what we love full time for you, and we would all love to continue to do that. Somebody's asking here about the intro song getting a remaster. There's a history of this already. There's like four versions of this floating around. I don't know if the one that's in the trailer that I lead into the video is the right one, but I think that's probably there's another one in the works. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. CastleMiner Warfare game mode would be, yeah. It's the CastleMiner Warfare. When we made that game, we just thought it was going to be the best thing ever. Like, we were so excited about that, and nobody ever seemed to want to play CastleMiner Warfare. But yeah, I agree. Like, having some sort of PvP game mode would be cool. Like, the game seems to be set up for that. Is the logo finished, or will you change stuff? Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I don't have any plans to rev the logo. Logo. I don't know, I thought it was. I thought we had done a good job on that. But I don't know. I mean, I guess if you have suggestions. Yes. Somebody is telling me we need a new theme song. We've put a lot of work into the theme song so far, so okay, I'll take like 1 or 2 more questions here, then I think I'm gonna head out. Yeah, somebody's talking about here about how the playing the Warfare was the building mechanics with shooting in it predated Fortnite. It did predate Fortnite. And we thought it was such a great idea, and it actually was done almost a year before we released it. There was a reason we held back the release for almost a year, and when we put it together, we just thought it was going to be great, and like it didn't. Like people never really got excited about it, which is interesting. And we released it on Steam separately again. But that was the one where everybody was like, it's a weird one. Everybody was like, oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be great. And then they, people were not very excited about it. Is there any plans for Avatar Warfare? It's funny. I think Laser Wars is the one that everybody wants to see come back. I would like to do that. I would like to do like Laser Wars in like Unreal or something, and it would have to be. The Avatar part of it is really interesting, like how we would do that, because you don't have access to the avatars anymore. But the idea of the little just contained first-person shooter for nostalgia, I think, would be pretty cool. Somebody's asking about the original CastleMiner. I think it's more likely that we would put the original CastleMiner, like we would roll it into this somehow, versus releasing it as a separate game. Okay, I appreciate everybody dropping by. We're gonna keep plugging away and hopefully close. I think the next big thing here is probably gonna be the release of the zombie. So I'm excited about that. Looking forward to it. I appreciate everybody dropping by the stream. Thank you.